Hello everybody, this is Mick McCart. I'm an author, I'm a game designer, I also have published books for independent authors with my company, McCart Productions. I am a creative, most of all and above anything. I'm just creative, probably like most of you watching. So now one of the things that I get a lot of when I'm signing books or going out to my shows and getting out there and meeting with the people and doing what we all dream to do, get our books in people's hands and share stories and learn lessons in life. So I get a lot of questions from people, and especially authors. Authors want to know, how do I get my books out there? How do I do this? How do I do that? You know, there's certain things you can do. I mean, a lot of it is personal, but we'll get into that. So if you want to get out there and start doing things like I do, I've been doing this since 2009. I've published 15 books independently on my own, and believe it or not, that's a choice. I'll in later episodes of this, I will break down, uh, the two types of publishing, different techniques you can use. What is as an author of independent books? Here's the process. Here's the companies you can use to get it done. And if you want to get into major publishing, if you hear kids, that's my kids. I got three, so I'll go through that as well. I get a lot of questions when I'm out on the road. I've been doing it for, like I said, since 2009. This is 2024, the first day of the year. So, been a long time now. So, do the math. I've been doing it for many years, and my hair wasn't gray back then. So, what I want to do is I want to help you. I want to help you with advice and things that I've learned in the past to um, help you on your journey, make it a little bit easier, make it a little bit less stressful. I've learned a lot of lessons, but you know what? Along the way, I've talked to many authors and I've done many things with, major publishers and big companies and things like that. I've always got some irons in the fire somewhere, but a lot of people come to me, they're like, Mick, how do you even take the first step? How do you do this or that? And so I want to answer a lot of those questions. And if you think that's going to help you, I'll try not to do too long of a show. We'll keep it a short show. So basically, what the show is called is Journal of an Independent Author, because I'm going to discuss my journey, which I won't get into my details about too much about my personal life because I just want to help you because I get so many questions. And basically, what I'm trying to do here is if I can send people to this channel and they can watch it, then they'll get all their questions answered and I don't have to talk to a million people. I can talk to a million people through this, which will be nice. And I hope it helps people. I mean, I love helping people, especially creatives. My whole life I've been a creative. It's, people, they have a hard time understanding us creatives because we're just always going, and we always have ideas. We get them out there, And one of the most frustrating things about being a creative is not getting it done. And that's a big thing. And so I hope that whatever I can tell you through this journey is helpful to you. And I call it Adventures in the Underground because it's an old music thing. I used to be in a band and play music, and uh, basically, if you're not through a major label, you're basically in the underground music scene. And I look at writing like music to me. So it's like I'm in the underground. Do I like it here? Sure. Man, I'm having a blast, and I'm getting my books out. I get people coming up to me saying, "Oh man, this is so great! I got so many stories." But maybe we'll get into that someday. But for right now, I just want to do an introductory episode, get this thing started, and hopefully maybe I can give you a few little tidbits here and there. Like I said, I'm trying to limit the show so you're not looking at a 20-minute show. I'll try to keep it under 10. So one of the things I want to do is help you establish your thoughts on what you do up front. What do you do in the beginning? I know you're at this point, if you're watching this channel, you're probably thinking, well, I've got stories written, or a story written, or I've got a book. What do I do with it? What's the next step for this thing? And that's where I hope to help. You basically got two decisions. You can either publish independently, or you can pursue, a publisher, a big media publisher, that's great. Both ways are great, but it's up to you to decide which way you want to go with it. I personally choose independent. There's pluses, there's minuses. So, hopefully what I tell you will help you decide which one you want to go to. But I will tell you this. If you're afraid to go independent publishing, I'm hoping to take some of that fear away, because you think, well, if I publish independently, a major publisher won't look at me. Okay, one of the things about publishers is they're looking for people with the drive to get out there, to meet people, to push their work. Because there's nothing more frustrating as a business owner who's trying to push an author, if you got somebody who's shy, who doesn't want to get out there and meet people. But as an independent, you kind of have to get out there and meet people. I mean, you can do a lot of online promoting and things like that, and that's wonderful. That's a great way to do it. But the best thing to me, in my experience, is to get out in the public, meet face-to-face with people, shake hands, because it's the most rewarding. When you see those people in the future and they come back to you and they're like, I love this, or I love that, or oh, I'm not talking to you, I wasted my money. You're going to meet all types, and it's great to meet them face to face, because you'll learn stuff, and you think about that, and it's a great way to grow as an author and as a human being. So there's nothing wrong with that. And another thing, I got some really good advice when I first started. I'll tell you about that. Right now, I have 15 books. I have my Journal of an Outlaw series. Well, it's called The Unremembered Realms. I'm going to be featuring one of my products at the end of every show, because I can. So that's what I'm doing. This is part of the process, and you'll learn it as we talk. So I created The Unremembered Realms, which has Journal of an Outlaw, Journal of an Awful Good Paladin, Journal of a Lounge Lizard Man, then my game series. Then I'm also the author of a children's series called Tales of Wordishire. And so, when I first started, I started with my first Tales of Wordishire book, and I thought, boy, this is it. I put a book together. It took me a year to write it. I did all the artwork myself. I had a little help in that too. But anyways, that's a long story. We'll go into that later. I wrote my book, and I started doing these little shows around town, and so as I was doing that, I met an author who, at a Barnes & Noble, I did a signing at a Barnes & Noble, and I had my one book. She had like 6 or 7 books at the time, and people were coming to her, sell. She was selling her books, having a great old time. And I sold maybe 6 or 7 books, and I was pretty sad about that. I was really hyped up about getting my book out there. And she turned to me and she said, listen, don't give up, because there's a lot of authors out there who give up too soon. She goes, once you do your 4th book, I'll allow you to give up, And I took that serious. I really did. And I was already planning on writing more books, because I had a lot of fun writing. It freed something in me that I enjoyed quite a bit. So I took that advice serious. And you know what? The first 2 or 3 books, it was rough, because, you're an unknown, you're independent, you're trying to do what you can, you're getting out there, and things were, by the time I got to my 4th book, things started changing a little bit. People would come up to my booth and go, wow, you've got a lot of books, And so, yeah, it's because I take it serious. And they knew I was serious, because, why would I spend so much time and energy on something that was just going to be fly by night? And so I think that, helped people understand how serious I was. And I started getting more sales from that. And that will help you too. So if you're an independent and you're getting out there, don't give up right away. If you need to take breaks here and there, that's fine. But on an average, I do about 30 to 35 shows a year. I try to get out there on the road quite a bit, and it's tough. I have a day job. But you know, you get out there and you're going to experience things that you've never seen before and meet people that you didn't know were out there. And it's fascinating. I meet tens of thousands of people a year. And, you know, I have a horrible memory, so I have a hard time remembering them, but that's not important. What's important is meeting the people. And I've seen some tears of joy from my books. I've seen so many things that make it worth it. You know, if I was somebody sitting around and there's nothing wrong with promoting your books and selling them online. I mean, there's a great market out there. I love it. And there's a lot of good videos out there by these people. But I like, you know, going to these events, go to the next one the next year, and people really respond to that. And there's something satisfying is that. It's like a musician. You're playing in front of a crowd and they start to respond and they're singing your songs and they're just having a good time, and there's nothing better than that feeling, you know. I know I've been on stage a few times, so wasn't always good, but I was there. So that's my introduction. I hope there's a little bit of something in there for you. I'm going to get more into details and be more focused on future episodes. If you you know, have any comments, please comment in the comment section. Please like, share. I want to get this out there. I want to build something to help struggling authors or creatives. I mean, even if you're a musician, I think a lot of this advice would really help. So now I think I will talk about one of my products. Okay, well, the first thing I'm going to talk about is not my first book. I'm going to talk about that in a later episode. But I'm going to talk about my Journal of an Outlaw series. It was the first series I created for the Unremembered Realms. And why am I talking about it? Well, it's my most popular. It's what I'm most known for. My writing career really took off when I made this book. It just, the sales went through the roof, and it's a comedy fantasy series. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but funny. It's like Lord of the Rings mixed with Monty Python. That's my famous line that I use when I talk to people about it. But my outlaw character here, he gets in trouble, you know, all the time. He's getting into lots of mischief, and yeah, it's a great book. It's got 100 journal entries. The way I wrote it was I decided not to do chapters, but to do journal entries. So in every one of these books, I do 100 journal entries. They're not in order either, so you can flip open to any section of the book, which I thought, you know, being somebody who has a short attention span, that's what this is for. You know, I'm the king of short stories, man. I can write 1 billion of them, and so each story's so long, page, maybe 3, maybe 6, but they're all pretty short. And you can jump around anywhere you want. So I write clean humor. It appeals to a wide range. I write for adults, but they're clean enough for kids. And I've got a huge kid fan base. But I've got a fan base of adults who appreciate this series. They like I have a British style humor that they, you know, a lot of people dig. I grew up watching the BBC and really liking it. I love Blackadder, The Young Ones, and all that. So if you're into that type of humor, this is the book series that I started with. And I'll talk more about more of the books later on. So that's my little self-promotion thing there. I hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to end the show here, and I hope to see you at a show.